Alright. Welcome to Southeast News on Signature TV. I am Barry Kumo Ado. I hope you're having a lovely day. Let's start with the headlines. Governor Mbah charges Southeast Development Commission to foster regional growth. Enugu residents share experience following demolition on Abapanike Road. Women group raises awareness against gender-based violence in Oji River. Stay with us for details and we'll be right back.
Every second, every minute, every pocket.
The Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah wants the Southeast Development Commission (SEDC) to develop the region into a common market and ensure infrastructure development of the zone. Governor Mbah gave the charge during a meeting with the management and board of the commission held at Enugu Government House. Mbah emphasized the importance of treating the Southeast as a single market by ensuring seamless economic activities and functional transport system.
We believe that the Southeast needs to be able to progress further. The Southeast is a unique zone, given the fact that we are within a very small area. We're talking about a land mass of less than 30,000 square kilometers, with a population of over 27 million people. So the population density you have in Southeast doesn't exist anywhere else. We're talking about a region with, as I said, less than 30,000 square kilometers with 27 million people. So we can truly be a market rather than pick each state as a market. You can look at the zone as a market.
Mbah commended President Bola Tinubu for establishing the commission and appointing experienced and skilled individuals to drive its mandate.
Senators and honorable members from this for making this passage possible. We are here also today to express our heartfelt appreciation to Your Excellency and the people of Enugu State for your unwavering support in making the SEDC a reality. Again, we are here to specially thank you for your promise to give the Commission a place to take off as the headquarters. Your Excellency, we sent people, you exhibited hospitality and warm reception. You come to NCFC, saw the impressive 410 square meters. But our requirement is 950 square meters. I think with that your permission, we went to the new secretariat, and kudos to you. You have a new secretariat which is almost completed.
The chairman of the commission, Chukwuemeka Nwogu, and managing director, Mark Okoye, praised Governor Mbah's efforts in transforming the infrastructure, health, education, and economy of Enugu State. They listed several initiatives of the commission, including the Southeast Security Intervention Program, Southeast Regional Economic Program, and other development activities.
The Southeast Development Commission is committed to positioning our region as the preferred investment destination in Africa by 2030. Our mission is clear: to drive sustainable development, economic growth, and unity through strategic investments and empowerment initiatives. Your Excellency will also appreciate it my own was that for the first time in our history, in spite of the fact that in a major situation, we have always recognized the zones by appointment of ministers and other efforts. But this is the first time that it is receiving statutory flavor by creating of the commissions reflecting the situation.
The Enugu State Command of Nigeria Immigration Service has pledged to support the state government in bringing about security and stability in the state. The new Controller of Immigration Service in Enugu State, Mrs. Nkechi Enete, made a commitment during a courtesy visit to Governor Peter Mbah at the Government House in Enugu. Enete, who assumed office on January 31st, 2025, emphasized that the command under her watch would operate within extant laws to check, control, and monitor the presence of non-Nigerians and the activities in the state.
And my humble self, Superintendent of Immigration, Chibuzo Ogadima Angel, your sister from Ame Chibudisa. Thank you, Your Excellency. We also have an amiable officer here too, Superintendent of Immigration, by name Ejibenjo Obina. He is a senior assistant to our CIS. And we also have an amiable officer here too, Superintendent of Immigration, by name Ejibenjo Obina. He is a senior assistant to our CIS.
Thank you, sir. Can we listen and can we put the group?
Your exploits are setting examples for us to emulate in building our dear nation. Challenges and requests. In striving to accomplish our core duties of monitoring of both regular and irregular migrants, numerous challenges abound. Your Excellency, sir, the command needs assistance in the following areas. 1. Operational vehicles. Nigeria Immigration Service Enugu State Command has its personnel in all the 17 local government areas of Enugu State. These officers are usually referred to as Divisional Immigration Officers, DIOs, and they are practically responsible for surveillance, the registration and monitoring of ECOWAS nationals and other foreigners, intelligence gathering, among other operations. The vehicles are seriously needed to coordinate these activities.
Receiving a comptroller, Governor Mbah appreciated the partnership between the state government and the Immigration Service, which is said has enhanced the ease of doing business in the state. He noted that the organization is a strategic partner in the state government's drive to grow the economy of the state exponentially and promised to assist the agency in overcoming its challenges as requested by the comptroller.
Give you the radios and provide you with the relevant channels to communicate. So that is. We look forward to this collaboration. You are an integral part of success, number one state for the doing business. And working together with you, we are very to achieve that. In our welcome. Thank you.
Enugu residents whose shops and businesses were affected by the demolition of structures along the Abapanike Lake Road, Ugogo Opi Nsukka Road, built for dualization, are increasingly concerned about their livelihood. Some claim that their lives have been shattered by the demolition. Others say they are waiting to know the exact measurement of a road to know where they will eventually settle down to do their business. Correspondent Chineberemi Kegmanam has been following the development.
Demolition along Abapanike Lake Ugogo Opi Nsukka Road as part of ongoing efforts to upgrade road infrastructure in the state has displaced residents and destroyed homes, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. 2 weeks after the bulldozers cleared the area, affected citizens are still waiting for construction to begin. Some, like Edith Agada, has shown resilience in the face of adversity, even after her shop was demolished. She now plies her trade using a tricycle.
I want people that have the shop opposite this police station. One morning when I came, people was running up and down. They said they are restoring the shop. I have to pack my retail things. I have to pack my things. Some of them put inside this keke to manage my family. I don't have anything to do.
However, not everyone is fortunate. A poor widow who wishes to remain anonymous was seen crying and struggling to provide for her 8 children without a shop or roof to protect her goods.
It's been 1 week and 5 days since demolition took place for dualization to set in. Here I'm standing is the popular chemist shop owned by a nurse who has been working or who has been selling for over 20 years. What you're seeing behind me is the broken pieces of this woman's lifelong investment. I'll be speaking to the lady and she will tell us how her business has been affected since the demolition. Follow me.
Okay, I'm coming. Then I'll come outside and put seat and wait for the person. In a day, I can only have just maybe those who call me, just like 3 or 2. That is why I'm coming out. I may be in the house. I say, I'm coming, wait for me. So when we come and say, so you're no more there and you did not want to tell us. I wanted to buy something and fast. So it's really affecting me.
Other shop owners expressed frustration, stating that their buildings, which were not originally marked for demolition, were destroyed without prior notice.
The matter remains one thing. They did not tell us. Our plaza wasn't marked. Had it was marked, you will say yes, we were pre-informed. And we will be getting ready for them. But no sign notice because it was measured in the initial stage. When it was measured, it didn't get to us. It stopped at the main road, at the junction. So to the greatest surprise, that particular day, they came how many times to measure it? We were not informed. So that was why we stayed cool.
This building that you see now in ruins actually housed a very vibrant retail pharmacy outlet that's serving this community and has been in existence for over 10 years. You know, duly incorporated company, filing its tax on a monthly basis, just now in ruins overnight. Now, if we were appropriately informed or duly informed that this building will be going down, it would have been nice. It would have been at least acceptable. But this building was not marked for demolition. You know, when they came to do the final pegging of the road expansion, right? And people who even came for the pegging, the surveyors that came, said the building was not affected, right? The road would not get there.
Are worried about the lack of progress on the project and the absence of compensation for those affected. Special Assistant to the Enugu State Governor on Research and Publications, Joshua Eje, has reassured citizens that the dualization of the Abapa-Opin-Suka Road is in the best interest of the public. He emphasized that the government is committed to providing fair compensation to affected residents.
Of Pitamba does not demolish if there is no need for that. So if you see a structure standing that is untouched and it's not marked, then it shows that there is no need touching the structure. But if the structure is marked, then why don't you evacuate? And let me also say this: if you've gone during the evacuation process, you see that people even did their self-evacuation. People removed their roof, removed their windows, everything, because they were happy. And people are still happy because of the project. Because the project is driven by people. And because people are going to, it's the people of Enugu State that are going to benefit from the project. It's not Pitamba. That is not the Pitamba's way to his own this thing. So it's for the good of the people.
According to Eje, The construction company has already commenced work from Opinsuka to Ugogonike end of the road and will soon extend to Abapa. The dualization of the 43.7-kilometer road is part of the grand design by the Enugu State government to upgrade the road infrastructure in the state and boost tourism and investment. The project is expected to be completed within 18 months and has provision for modern street lights to help reduce accidents and criminality in the state. In Enugu, Chinemerem Ikebunam for Signature TV News.
Construction. We go over to Imo State, where the House of Assembly has commended Governor Hope Uzodinma for embarking on the reconstruction of the Naze Timber Market Road in the Owerri North local government area. The House made a commendation during its plenary session on Monday. While moving the motion, Kelechi Oforum said the road, popularly known as Obosisi, connects two federal roads and leads to many areas that contribute immensely to economic activities in the state. He said the road was left to dilapidate by past administrations in spite of its importance to the economy of the state. Oforum said the road, when completed, will attract more development, save transport costs, and enhance interconnectivity to major highways. He therefore prayed the House to commend the governor for the reconstruction of the road, which he described as a death trap. Supporting the motion, Samuel Obunimpa, representing Okigwe constituency, also lauded the governor and urged him to extend the work to other dilapidated roads in Okigwe. Chigoze Winery, representing Oru East constituency, said the governor had done very well in the area of road infrastructure. He said the Naze market generates lots of revenue to the state, commended the governor for the quality of work. Contributing Kennedy Ibe, representing Obowo constituency, also expressed delight over the project, describing the road as critical because of its contribution to the state economy. Still in Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodinma has given kudos to the officers and men of the Nigerian military, as well as other collaborative security agencies, for their efforts in stemming the tide of insecurity in Imo State, in particular in the entire southeast region and Nigeria in general. Uzodinma made a commendation when he received the General Officer Commanding GOC 82 Division, Enugu, Major General Yemi Thomas Olatoye, and his team commanders under Sector 4 at the new ESCO Chambers Government House Owerri on Tuesday. The governor attributed part of his administration's success to the invaluable efforts, sacrifices, and determination of the security agencies, with guaranteed an enabling environment for development in the state. Uzodinma further noted that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration in Nigeria has invested so much to confront the spate of insecurity in the country, and maintains that security of life and property of the citizenry and residents is paramount to his administration. He encouraged the GOC, who is equally the commander of Operation Udoka in the southeast, to collaborate with the governors of the southeast to guarantee greater peace in the region with a consequential development in the interest of all. The GOC expressed appreciation to Governor Uzodinma for his support in all capacity as the Chief Security Officer of the state, and by extension, a key leader in the area, and encouraged him not to relent. He promised that the army under his watch in the area would upscale its efforts in fighting insurgency within Imo State and the entire southeast region, deploying kinetic as well as non-kinetic measures to achieve the set goals. And that's the news. When we return, we'll start our conversations, and today we'll be taking a look at gender-based violence. That's when we return. Stay with us.
Every second, every minute, every day pocket.
Screen. And so, the campaign against gender-based violence has continued to get more attention as the menace continues around the world. On Monday, Oji River local government headquarters was lit as the push for the campaign to move further became a name and a project known as Obako Umuada. A town hall meeting was put together by a women rights activist and broadcaster, Onyinye Ude. Well, she'll be here later to enlighten us. But at the local government, a whole lot of women came around because the idea of the project is to protect women and girls from domestic violence. Ugonna Awadu was there, and let's listen and watch our report.
Sexual and gender-based violence is a pervasive and serious issue affecting individuals, communities, and societies worldwide. According to the World Health Organization, approximately 1 in 3 women globally has experienced physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. To address this societal menace, a woman rights activist and broadcaster, Onyude, organized an event to educate women in Oji River Council area. The traditional ruler of Agbadinyi community, Igwe Ignatius Okpala, who represented the chairman of the Oji River Traditional Rulers Council, Igwe Chima Achiekwelu, encouraged women to speak out whenever they face domestic violence from their husbands. He also urged men not to maltreat their wives for giving birth to only female children.
I am not a supporter of men that maltreat their wives. No man has the right to beat up a woman or deprive her of her rights.
A legal practitioner, Onyekachi Okafor, enlightened the women on their rights and urged them to speak out whenever their rights are being violated or they are being abused.
Women should know their rights and also speak up when it is being violated without fear.
A Roman Catholic priest, Reverend Father Emmanuel Ikechukwu, who emphasized that marriage exists for the good of the couple, stated that childlessness is not a valid reason to divorce or maltreat a woman. He encouraged families to raise boys to be responsible and to be able to carry out domestic chores, as well as advise girls not to disrespect men in general.
Men should not divorce or maltreat their wives for having only female children. Families should train their male children to be responsible. Girls should also learn to respect men.
The convener of the event, Onyude, explained that Obako Umuada is a platform that amplifies women's voice. She stressed that families play a crucial role in curbing sexual and gender-based violence in the society.
One of the things I may identify with discrimination between the female or the boy child and the girl child. So there is every need to bring in the young men and then to encourage women to do the right thing as they are forming their children. To let them know that as well as boys are important, that women are important. That from there, if the families can get it right, then we know it's a step to success in this our campaign. When the families are in good condition, the person living in your family will enter the society and still do the normal thing. Likewise, the states, then the country, and the world in general.
Joy Ezobi, a participant, expressed her gratitude to the event organizers.
I am happy I attended this event. I have learned a lot, which I will implement and teach people around me.
Sexual and gender-based violence is a global social crisis that demands immediate attention, urgent action, and collective responsibility. In Enugu, Ugonna Owalo for Signature TV News.
So, Monday happened. Today is Wednesday, and I have with me in the studio, Southeast News, Onyeude. Who is that woman? We talked about the women rights activist and broadcaster. She's here. And also we have Lilian Igbokwe, who is also here for the project that talks about gender-based violence and the umbrella of a town hall meeting that is called Obako Umwada. Onye is a project manager. And Onye, welcome to Southeast News.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you here. Lillian, I'll get to you shortly, but when we talk about gender-based violence, ironically, thought process goes to male against female. But if you look at different situations, you discover that sometimes it's female against male or male against female. Is it possible for us to aggregate in terms of your town hall meetings to also invite some of the males, especially those who have been known to commit such crimes, I'm going to use the word crimes, against the women folk, to be part to also understand what the women folk is passing through? Is it possible? If it's possible, why haven't those men who are known in community, because your action is community-based action, why have we not brought those people who are known to perpetrate these crimes as part of reformation?
Thank you. During the course of this project, like the just concluded town hall meeting, we actually concentrated on the rural women, bringing them, one, to encourage them to break the silence, to start to speak out. It was a sensitization program. Because a lot of women, our major problem is stigma. Nobody wants to talk because our understanding, our mindset, most times when you see a victim, the question is, if it's a husband abusing a wife, the first thing you will hear other women or people say, she talks so much, she insults the wife. They will always be at the part of encouraging the perpetrator and then blaming the victim. Likewise, when you talk about sexual molestation or sexual abuse, like when we discuss it in our program, you see people calling in, it's because the way they dressed, they dress and they expose themselves, that's why they are abused. And then the question is, why is it that that man that perpetrated that crime, why didn't you close your eyes? If the person is naked, it's the person's right. You're not supposed to force the person to perform anything. It must be, she must grant the consent. So going back to your question, we brought the women in this first part of our town hall meeting to sensitize them, to let them know that there are people that understand your deal that are going through, and that when you report what you're going through, these people will help you. If it is counseling, you will be counseled. If it is referral, you will be referred. If it is charging the perpetrator, somebody will be there for you without paying. And that was why, if you watched our report, we had a traditional ruler, an Igwe. They are the decision makers in the community. We brought in a religious person, a reverend father, because sometimes you see women suffering. They tell you that when they took that oath during their marriage, that they said is for better, for worse, until death do them part. And you find out that some of them later will die, and the death will do them part. So we are saying, our concern is to cater for the living. And when you look at that report, you see that we brought in a seasoned lawyer who came with the VAP law to tell them that the law is protecting you. Then we brought a woman who has distinguished herself in this cause. And today, the traditional rulers in Enugu State came together to give her a chieftaincy title because she has continued to fight for the betterment of the women folk. So it's more of sensitization, breaking the silence. We are coming for the second town hall meeting. Then the women are ready to talk. And then we bring in the men, not just the men, we are bringing in the young adults, the adolescents, whom their mindset is already messed up, that I am a man. And because I'm a man, a woman must be under me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Onye. Lillian, I saw you nodding and then thinking of the next thing you will say when we get to you. First step was breaking the silence, enlightening them, letting them understand their rights, and knowing what to do when the time comes. But will that time ever come for any woman, knowing fully well that sometimes the woman is just in the house having what you may call her moment, peace of mind, and the husband barges in and something escalates? So will that time ever come? I want you to begin to, while this enlightenment is going on, how do we make these women understand to begin to read the body language of their husband, to know when it's time to not keep silent, but to find a way to hold their peace and find a space to avoid that gender-based violence taking place at that moment? Is it part of the processes of education that they are getting at this first stage? Or you're waiting for it to happen and then they get to counseling stage when it will be too late?
Thank you very much. It's nice being here. It's nice. Thank you for having me. Our sole aim of this project is to prevent this gender-based violence. So that is why we begin this sensitization program. And first we've done our town hall to tell these women that yes, you need to speak when it happens. And then we're also telling them, don't wait for it to happen. And that is why we say, as a woman, you need to be empowered. And when we speak about empowerment, we're not just talking about giving a woman rice. We're not just talking about giving a woman Maggi, salt. No. We are trying to empower you both mentally. We're trying to empower you psychologically, physically, to tell you that no, in your little environment, in that little place you find yourself, that is your safe space, you don't need to allow anything to counter it. You don't need to open it for violence to come in. So we empower the women psychologically, we empower the women mentally to tell you, own your peace, know whom you are as a woman. Because most of this gender-based gets to happen when you see a woman that says that, I am just a woman, I don't know what to do. Possibly she's lost herself. But when a woman knows whom she is, if you know whom you are as a woman, the capacities you have, you'll be able to withstand so many things. You'll be able to withstand. When a man sees you, he already knows that this is not the kind of woman I need to bet. This is not the kind of woman I need to shout at. Because the woman already has her own courage. She has her own courage. She already knows whom she is. And that also brings us to in our second town hall, in our second town, where we are gathering the little ones to train them that you are a woman, you are a substance, you are a wholesome woman, so that she carries it. When she becomes a mother, when she becomes a wife, the husband will know that yes, I have someone at home. So we are not, our major project, our major impact we want to leave in this project is to prevent, we don't want it to happen again. We don't want GBV to happen again.
All right. At what point would they part, because you talked about bringing the young adults to be part of the second phase. Where would you bring in the parents? Because the Igbo saying that I'm going to translate in English says, when the mother is feeding, the baby watches and learns how to feed. If you grow up in a house filled with violence between the parents, the children have lost it from that point. That's how they grow up. So at what point would parents be also invited? I'm not talking of parents where, for example, they have cases happening now. But those little things that happen and make parents raise their voices. When are this set of parents also going to come in to join, so that they'll be the one that will begin to guide their households to know what is right and what is wrong. At what stage?
It's ongoing because Ogbako Umuada, we have a radio town hall every Tuesday by 4 to 5 p.m. And in this town hall, radio
what station?
on Solid 100.9 FM from 4 to 5, good 1 hour. This program is designed that we don't even speak English there. What we speak there is vernacular. So that woman in the village, our target is the rural women. That woman in the village will be free and be relaxed to open up and talk to us. In that town hall, radio town hall, we bring in experts. We bring in women, survivors, who tell story about themselves. Let me tell, for example, yesterday we brought in a woman, a widow, now a pastor, a motivator. She came, and the words she used yesterday, some women were shedding tears and talking. Because she used the word that it is time that women should rediscover themselves. Because that the mindset or the norm that we saw while we were growing up most times makes we, the women, to lose confidence. So it is a continuous something. Every week we bring in a woman to talk to others. This is what I went through. This is how I solved it. This is where I am. And let me tell you something. At the season 1, we know we've done season 1 of Ogbako Umuada before this season 2. Initially, when we opened the lines, you find out that the men will dominate the call. But let me tell you now, each time we open our lines, the women will take 85%. Because they've seen, they now feel that the Ogbako Umuada is their own. They don't feel that it's the radio that owns it. They feel it is our own. This is where to talk about the women. And our slogan will always be, Ogbako Umuada, Ebo Mumwai, Nepuko Arafa.
I like that. Now, from what you said, something just struck me. When you started, you have men dominating on the platform, wanting to express themselves, and the women were
and most times accusing the women.
What were you expecting them to say? So, but that the women have taken it back, with 85% of the calls coming in. That should give you a leverage to begin to have people you call ambassadors in different local communities. Without you getting there, without taking the shine off what you're doing. I recall when I was in Ebonyi and we were talking about VVF. It was very rampant. The then wife of the governor of Martin Elechi, the wife, went round from community to community, getting people who had this issue, ensuring they had free treatment, and then sending these people back as champions to their communities. You have that platform already via the radio program. So it's time for you to begin to have champions in local communities, champions that can make reports when they have the knowledge of gender-based violence taking place anywhere within the community. And it becomes easy for you to use the radio community to build isolated but global community within Enugu State. And with that, it becomes easy for the town hall to hold beyond Tuesdays.
We've done that already.
Yeah, we already have what we call Ogbako Umuada Club. And currently we are covering 2 local governments in Enugu State, Kano East local government and Oji River local government. And in each of those local governments, they have their different communities and villages, of which in each of those villages and communities, we have our Ogbako Umuada Club. These are the people that we cannot, because we know we cannot be in this community every day, but they are there every day, every time. So they help us in carrying out our mission. Continuous sensitization. These are our champions, if I borrow your words. These are our champions in different communities where we cover. So we already have them, and on a monthly basis we get their reports. So what from our own part, what we'll do is we'll visit them, we'll have trainings with them, continue training, so that they will know that yes, GBV is advancing. The world is getting global, you know. Things are changing every day. So as much as they are sensitizing, they're getting used to what the world is turning into and how they also need to penetrate to different individuals in the community. So we train them also so that they can be able to, we stay in the same pace with them as they go in forth in their sensitization. So we already have that club in the village.
Okay. Now, which means there is some form of impact. So how do you measure the impact that comes out of all the positives that is going down to the local areas? The positives of the training, positives of enlightening people to take control of their lives, positives of people having more confidence in themselves and standing up for themselves, and the community also standing up for one who is weak. How do you measure the impact?
Okay, like working with the traditional rulers, we sent a proposal to them, the thing we want them to inculcate into their tradition or their bylaws. One is that there must be penalty for any man or even any woman that abuses the spouse. Because find out that in most of the communities, initially, the Igbo land, we have a communal life. That when you do something, definitely the community will stand up. But along the line, you find out that we became so selfish that anything that happens, it concerns that family and it concerns whosoever that is perpetrating or the victim. So number one is that we want them to bring back that communal life of having a bylaw now. That when you do certain things, the community has penalty for you. Then also our advocacy, another advocacy is that these traditional rulers should make sure that there is a woman in their cabinet, woman or women. We said it that it's not just the women that will be sharing the garden egg, sharing food in the cabinet, and when Igwe stands up, they will start singing and dancing. That what we're recommending is a woman that will be speaking on behalf of the women. That when they come for the town, their ESCO or cabinet meeting, after the minutes, they will call the woman, give us reports about what is happening. Is there anything like any abuse? Is there anyone that is being denied the right? This is what we said they should do. And that is one of the ways we want to check and have a feedback of the impacts we are making. We even went as far as to tell them that this preference to male in Igbo land, most times you find out that a woman doesn't have any inheritance. That we are proposing to them to keep a communal land. Now, they will say that this is for the Omoadas. Even if you get married and you're being abused there, you can easily come back to your father's house. Remember, we are looking at the rural community, and their major occupation is farming. So when the person comes home, he's not going to start fighting with the brothers now to give her land. But the land is already there. It's to go and make official report. I need a piece of land to farm, and you get that. So this is the areas we're looking at. We'll be checking it. When all these things are being implemented, you find out that definitely the rate of abuse and the rate of all these cultural norms, negative ones that affect these women, will reduce.
I like that. Yes, Lillian. I thought you wanted to add to that.
No, basically she said all, but the little thing I would just add is, like she said, that there is need for women to have more like a land in their father's house, so that it won't be like, what am I going to? Why will I go home? A woman will start thinking, is it not better I stay in this marriage? Going back to my father's house, what will I gain? What will I get there? What support will I get? But once she knows that if she is going back to her father's house, she have a land, she have a property, she have something she can rely on, then she will be bold enough to say, hey man, you can't keep treating me like this. I have a home where I will be welcomed with 2 hands.
So,
you know?
but basically, are we talking about a support system or are we talking of property? Because I would have preferred a support system to property. We're from different families, but no matter what happens to us, if we understand that your family would always got your back, you are safe anywhere in the world.
Sure.
But if you are thinking of a property,
No.
remember, anything can happen to that.
It's not property.
So I think part of going forward too, my suggestion should begin to also think of that support system, starting from the immediate family. Because most women, it's either the shame of coming out of a broken home that keeps them there, or it's a thought of wanting to stay there continuously, and they become the victim. It's time for them to have a support system whereby they can say, rather than take this punishment on a daily basis, I'll go back to my father's house where I'll be taken care of. So it can also begin to form part of the processes you are putting in place. Part, but you know the truth about support system, you cannot force it.
You know, we can only get that support system if we change the mindset of the family. That's why we are looking at the current situation and we are looking at the long term. That's why we said we want to begin to look at young mothers. We want to begin to talk to young boys and girls. Let them know that whether you are a woman, a man, you are important. But if the mindset is not changed, which we are trying to do through this sensitization, the support system will not be there. Because they will tell you, just go. A woman, when you are born, somebody is, you're another person's property. They'll stop seeing women as property. They'll start seeing us as human beings who can contribute to the betterment of the society.
I agree completely with you there. And I need to say thank you for coming on. But when are you going to expand to the other local governments? Because the vision and the mission is quite clear. And you have not even got to 10% of your projections. Because if the wave of what you are pushing forward carries on, you'll discover that in every small corner, each woman, each man will understand their rights and privileges. Each man, each woman would understand that they have people that are ready to give them the support for them to live the life that they ought to live. So when are you expanding? What is the projection for reaching out to more people?
We wish to, but through the radio town hall, we are reaching a lot of persons. But fiscally, we cannot do anything now in other local governments. Where we have our club, where we have our one-on-one discussion is in these 2 local governments. But from our estimate, each day this program goes on air, we know we're talking to more than 500 persons. Because when we open our lines, we find out the way is blinking. About we cover all the southeastern states, then part of South, and then the Middle East. So we find out that we are reaching out and they are asking us, this thing you're doing at Ojo River and then Kano East, please come and do same in our area.
You've got the invitation, and I need to say thank you very much. We're here today for coming on. She is the project manager of Ogbako Umuada, and Lillian Ibokwe. Thank you too for coming, and she is the manager. I hope I got that.
No, project officer.
And we want to thank Signature TV.
But before you do that, let me say thank you again for coming on. Now I can hear your thanks.
Oh, and we want to thank Signature TV for having us. That we know that what we have said here will go far, because Signature TV is the news in your pocket. Everybody will hear us.
Thank you for that.
And we wish you all the best as you continue to grow in this sojourn on broadcasting.
Thank you very much.
Thank
again.
you.
But we're still open to host you again.
Thank you.
Want to join you milestone by milestone, because what your vision and mission is also important for humanity. So thank you for coming on. And that's Southeast News for today. I am Barry Kumado. It's been my pleasure. We'll be back tomorrow.